up? My name is Daniela and welcome to a new video. So in this video I want to talk about how well I did with my 2019 reading goals. So overall I think I did pretty well, but there are definitely going to be some fails. Okay, so my first goal was my Goodreads challenge and I set it at 50 books and I read 79 books, so I surpassed it by quite a lot, but 50 is a good number for me. Okay, my second goal was to read or unhaul all the books I got before 2019. This is the second time I think I've done this goal, so the only books I owned were from 2018 and I managed to read all of them. Well, okay, I read the last one as the first book of 2020, so I extended the deadline, I guess, for a couple of days, but as of now, all of the books I read, so I consider this as a success. Goal number 3 was to read all of my NetGALLEY books, and boy, did I fail miserably with this one. So I don't remember the exact number of books I had on NetGALLEY at the beginning of 2019, but it was quite a lot. But as of now, there are 17 books I haven't read and 19 I still need to review, so my current feedback ratio is 37%, which is very low. And yeah, I will address this topic more in my 2020 reading goals video, but yeah, it was a big fail. Okay, so goal number 4 was a monthly budget for books of $35. This is excluding SCRIBD, which is around $10, and also excluding Harry Potter, because I didn't own the whole series in English, so I was buying the volumes during the previous year. I still need to buy the last one, but yeah, first I thought I was going to get a book set and I ended up buying like the books individually, so never mind, I didn't count that. So not counting Harry Potter books, I did this in all of the months except for December, because I kind of didn't realize it and the bookstore had like 25% discount on everything, so I wanted to buy even more, but there weren't that many interesting things for me, and I ended up spending around $40 in December for books. So like I exceeded it by about $5 in the last month, but overall I did really well during the whole year, so this was like almost success. This is why it is hard to evaluate these goals sometimes, because like technically it's a fail, but in reality I did it for most of the year and then just closely didn't do it in the last month, so like, I don't know. The most important thing I think is that I'm really happy about my spending on books in 2019. I set this goal because in 2018 I was on a book buying ban and I was afraid that if I didn't restrict myself in any way, I could go a little bit bananas, but I didn't. There were months that I didn't buy any books, and yeah, I wasn't buying that many books. So I'm glad I had this goal for last year, but we will move from this system to another one. And this also is another topic for my 2020 goals video, so I won't talk about it anymore now. Goal number 5 was to read 12 non-fiction books. So in the last couple of years I was getting more and more into non-fiction, but sometimes it is a genre that you can kind of forget about. So I just wanted to set this goal to keep me on track and don't forget to read non-fiction, and I did really well with this one. I actually read 21 non-fiction books, which is pretty amazing. I'm very happy about it and I definitely want to read a lot of non-fiction going forward as well. Goal number 6 was to read authors from a list of new to me authors, and the goal was to read at least 8 of the 10. So the year before that, in 2018, I had a list of top 12 books to read and I did that, but I found that pretty restrictive because it reminded me too much of required reading. I studied literature, so I was like, no, don't want to do this anymore. So for 2019 I set 2 lists of 10 authors. One was a list of authors that were new to me, and one was of authors that I have already read something from. And guess what? It was still too restrictive. So in the list of new to me authors, I only read 5 of them. So first we had Leigh Bardugo on the list, and I haven't read anything from her yet, but now I own the whole Grisha series as well as Six of Crows, so I definitely want to read her in 2020. Then we have Marissa Meyer, and I also didn't read anything from her, but now I own Cinder, so I want to read that. And also I want to read Renegades, but I don't own that yet, so we'll see. Then we have Silvera, and I read What If It's Us, which is co-written with Becky Albertalli, so yeah, 1 point. Then we have Stephen King. So I DNF'd one book, Needful Things, but then I finished and loved The Institute, so 2 points. Kasie West, that was kind of a random one because, I don't know, a lot of people like her books, and yeah, I wanted to try it. I didn't get around to doing it, so that's one I'm like, I don't have any emotion about it. I just like don't care much. Then we have Christina Lauren. So I'm really glad I started reading Christina Lauren books, and in 2019 I read Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating, and I love it, so also a very good point. Then we have Donna Tartt, which I haven't read anything by her still, and to be honest I kind of lost interest, like most of my interest. I'm still mildly intrigued, but I'm not that excited to read literary fiction at the moment, so yeah. And I keep hearing mixed reviews, so I even had The Goldfinch borrowed from the library and I just didn't pick it up, so maybe I will read her one day, but I won't definitely set it as a goal. Then we have Robin Hobb. Well, I still want to read Robin Hobb, but I started some other series and I realized that I can't have like too many series going on at once because I forget everything and I lose interest. So I want to finish some of the series I have started, like Mistborn and some others, and then when I feel ready I will finally get to Robin Hobb, hopefully. And yeah, speaking of The Final Empire, we have Brandon Sanderson. So The Final Empire is the only book I have read by him so far, but I'm definitely intrigued. I love The Final Empire, so yeah, I definitely want to read many books by Brandon Sanderson going into the future. And last author on this list is Matt Haig. So I read Notes on a Nervous Planet and Reasons to Stay Alive in 2019, and I really enjoyed both of them. I adored Notes on a Nervous Planet, and I also bought 2 of his fiction books, so yeah, that's definitely an author I'm really glad I picked up, so yeah. So basically from these 5 I read, 2 are happening in the very near future, 2 more may happen in the still near future, and 1 might not happen. So overall, you know, I didn't finish this goal, but I'm not that sad about it. And then we have the list of the authors I already own. So it was one of my intentions to read more from authors I know I already loved something from, because it can get neglected because you are excited about new authors and new books. But yeah, it's really nice to get back to authors you already like. So from these I actually managed to read the 8 of 10, so I succeeded in this goal. First on this list was Taylor Jenkins Reid, and prior to 2019 I read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and in 2019 I read Daisy Jones and the Six. I adored both these books, so yeah, it was a good point to put it on this list. Then we have V.E. Schwab, which I have like a complicated relationship with her books. So prior to that I read only A Darker Shade of Magic, and yeah, I had conflicted feelings about that book. And in 2019 I managed to read City of Ghosts, which is a middle grade, and I really like that, and also Vicious, which I was really disappointed by. So yeah, it's still like hit or miss with her, but I definitely want to read Tunnel of Bones, which is the sequel to City of Ghosts, and then we'll see. Then we have Patrick Ness. So I read The Rest of Us Just Live Here before 2019, and in 2019 I read The Knife of Never Letting Go. Didn't like it at all. So yeah, I guess he also will be hit or miss for me. Next we have Liane Moriarty. So she's one of my favorite authors. I read and adored Big Little Lies, The Husband's Secret, and in 2019 I read Truly and Madly Guilty and 9 Perfect Strangers. These were, well, Truly and Madly Guilty was disappointing and 9 Perfect Strangers was okay, I enjoyed it. So yeah, I definitely want to read all of her books. So anything she has written and anything she will publish, I'm there for it. Then we have Sophie Kinsella. She also, well, she was kind of one of my favorite authors, but it wasn't so great this year or in 2019. So in 2019 I read Confessions of a Shopaholic, which was disappointing, I Owe You One, which was disappointing, and Wedding Night, which was enjoyable. So also hit or miss. Well, next one on the list was Jane Austen, and I didn't read any Jane Austen in 2019. So I have only read Pride and Prejudice, which is one of my top favorite books of all time, and I also read Persuasion, but a long time ago, and that's all. So that's not a good score. And yeah, I wanted to read either Emma or reread Persuasion, because these are the ones I currently own, or any of her other books, but yeah, I didn't get to it. And I definitely want to read Jane Austen because, well, as I said, Pride and Prejudice is one of my favorite books, but I don't think I will set it as a goal because I just need to feel like it, and yeah, I don't want to force myself to read classics. So it will happen, but I don't know when. Then I have Sarah J. Maas on this list. So I read the ACOTAR series, I think during 2017 and 2018, and well, I really liked it, but then I read the fourth book, the novella, and it was bad, and it kind of made me look at it in a different light. And also you read these reviews that are totally accurate by people who hated the book, and yeah, so I have mixed feelings about the series. I mean, I really liked it, but it has flaws, right? But anyway, I wanted to read Throne of Glass because, or at least try it, because it's another series that is really hyped on BookTube, and although I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as the ACOTAR series, I still wanted to give it a try. And yeah, I read the first volume. I quite liked it. I gave it 4 stars, but as of now, I'm not very excited to continue with the series, so we'll see what happens with this one. But anyway, I managed the goal, so because I read another book by Sarah J. Maas, so that's the point. Then we have Seanan McGuire, and I actually didn't read any books by her last year, which is weird because like some of them are really short. So we have the Wayward Children series, right? So I read the first 2 books, and a couple of more are out by now, and I haven't read any more of them. She also has Middle Game out, which I heard great things about, but yeah, I haven't read anything by her in 2019. Then we have Becky Albertalli. So previously I really loved Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda, and I enjoyed The Upside of Unrequited. And in 2019 I did read a book by her. It was co-written with Adam Silvera. Yeah, I've already mentioned it. It was What If It's Us, so yeah, check. And last one was John Green. So previously I loved Turtles All the Way Down, The Fault in Our Stars, and I quite liked Looking for Alaska. And in 2019 I read An Abundance of Catherines, and it was one of my least favorite books of 2019. So another hit or miss author, I guess, but yeah, I did read a book by him. So yeah, from this portion there were 10 authors, 8 I read in 2019 and 2 I definitely want to read probably in 2020 or a bit later, but yeah, I'm still very interested in reading books by all of these authors. And the last goal was to reread Harry Potter, and it was supposed to be a very easy goal, but I actually managed to only reread the first 4 volumes, so I'm about to start book 5 in the very near future. But yeah, I was really taking my time with it. I didn't want to rush through it because it was the first time, or it is the first time, I'm reading the whole series in English, so it is a completely new experience in a way. So I've been really savoring it, I've been really enjoying myself, but yeah, only 4 of 7. So yeah, this is how I did with my 2019 reading goals. Seeing it definitely made me rethink the goals I'm going to be setting for myself in 2020. There are some things that are going to change and I'm really excited about that. So yeah, that would be all for this video. Let me know how you did with your reading goals last year and what are some of the goals you are setting for yourself in this year. You can of course leave me any other comment and also like this video and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time. Bye!